Welcome back to the Upper Tier Podcast, the football podcast we bring you each and every week on the Dynamo Podcast Network. Head over to YouTube, smash that subscribe and bell notification button. We're also available on Anchor for our audio versions of the show, so head over there. If you've Spotify, Podbean, you'll pick up all our audio shows as well. Also, if you want to contact the show, you'll get us. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you find your socials, you can hit us up there if you fancy coming on the show or you want to drop an opinion on anything you heard on the show. And joining me tonight for our Monday mashup show, we got Wayne back again, representing the city, Man City. Come on, Wayne.
How's it going? How's things?
We got Graham back on again, representing St. Pat's. No, really Tottenham Hotspur. We got Dame back on again from the red side of Liverpool. And then obviously
celebrating for 6 more weeks.
Obviously back again representing the Blues from London, the Chelsea. Ian's back on again. It's been a while, Ian. I think the last episode was the Tuchel one.
The Podfather is back, baby.
That's it. Good to have you all back on. Well, I suppose let's start with the Premiership there at the weekend and have a quick review. A very interesting weekend. 1 minute you think you're chasing just that fourth spot, and the next thing, all of a sudden, the third spot looks like it's available as well. Brendan Rodgers on a little bit of a slide. Wayne, what did you make of
that? West Ham were absolutely brilliant again. They must have a curse about scoring 3 goals, man. There must be a curse in that West Ham team that they score 3. The other team are guaranteed to score 2 and fight them till the end. I mean, watching that game, it was exciting. It was brilliant. But yeah, West Ham are in for a shout for even third place now, which is, I can imagine that every West Ham fan's nose is bleeding and their trousers are brown.
Don't get too excited there now. Don't get too excited there. We'll give them 4th. Our London rivals will give them 4th. That'll be all right.
Yeah, Moyes looked like he was about to pass out on the sideline.
Whoa.
Didn't he?
It's not Moyes, it's Moyes Soye.
I like that.
Thought you were a Liverpool fan, yeah?
But yeah, give the man a bit of credit where it's due.
Look, I was saying, I don't know if you agree with me, lads, but the only thing I could see stopping Moyes winning the manager the season, with like City winning all the trophies or something, or Chelsea winning the FA Cup and Champions League or something. But Moyes, West Ham are hands down the most improved team we've seen in the league since Leicester won it, you know.
Definitely.
Haven't seen, you know, a team turn it around like this. 17th they finished last year, and now they're arguably going to get Champions League, which is, like I said, Leicester was the last time we've seen something like that, you know.
Yeah, would agree.
Yeah. Just before we move off, Wayne, a goal at the death, 10-man leads. Talk to me about
an offside goal. An offside goal at the death. Look, do you know what?
It was a bit of a Debbie does Dallas.
Well, like Dallas does City, the bastard.
Dallas does City, yeah.
But no, I look, at the end of the day, like, I think that's just, as I keep saying, that's just football. 29 shots, 1 goal, 2 shots, 2 goals. I can't stay here and say we were hard done by or we played bad or whatever. That was just football. Sometimes that happens to you. And all credit to Leeds and Marco Bielsa for not giving up after going down to 10 men against a team like City, man. So easy to dip your head and go, oh, that's it. We're finished, you know. So I think credit to Leeds, and it was a well-deserved win for them. It's unfortunate at this time of the season, we cannot afford to be losing games with Man United chasing on us in the form they're on, you know. You cannot afford to do it.
So what was with Pep though, resting players though, you know what I mean? Like, I'd scratch my head, and then him after that, he's trying to throw the scent towards Liverpool. He starts talking about when Liverpool lose games. I'm like, mate, swallow your bleeding pride, will you? You got it wrong. You rested your big players. You know, as a City fan, as a Liverpool fan, I'd be saying they are strongest 11. The sooner we win the league, we can crack on at Europe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I absolutely completely agree with you, mate. I said that as well. I was like, I understand we have a big game against Dortmund, but I mean, surely the players are experienced and fit enough to manage. No, not obviously everyone, but even bring De Bruyne on for 30 minutes, bring something, Aguero on, bring somebody on to do something. I always think Pep Guardiola overthinks games. I didn't think he'd do it against Leeds, but he definitely did, resting all those players. Like you just said, that I would hope we win the league as soon as possible, and you can just forget about it. Play whoever you want, then the trophy's won, and then focus on everything else. But yeah, it was a bit frustrating, you know. Just it is a frustrating thing at this time of the season when United have a game in hands. The gap goes down to 8, and then we're back in the territory when Man City won it from United, you know. An 8-point lead.
Just in the wildest imagination that United won that game in hand. City got knocked out against Dortmund, went on a little scuttering run, and United won the league by a point or something on the last day. A bit of karma from that day.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
It's not karma that we want, though, lads. Let's be real. None of us want.
Ask Niall what I said to him yesterday. I said, watch what's going to happen. Chelsea are going to knock us out of the FA Cup. I said, Spurs will win the bloody Carabao Cup. United will catch us, and Dortmund are going to knock us out. We'll end up trophyless, and everyone's going to go, bottle job.
It's that fucking Tanzania prick you need to watch out for.
I'm telling you now, if Solskjaer wins the Premiership at that time, I may give up on football.
I give up, yeah. I'm moving full time to hockey, lads. And that's it.
I'm building one of them nuclear bunkers.
Oh, definitely. Make room for 3. Make room for 3 there, Dino. Me and Niall will join you.
Well, I'd actually go back on what I said at the beginning of the show, right? I said the only thing that stopped Moyes winning Premier League Manager of the season would be, someone winning all the trophies. Now, if Solskjaer wins the league, well, Man United, he's definitely going to win Manager of the season. Because how he done that, I have no idea.
He'd probably win it for coming second anyway. You know how. Anyway,
don't worry.
The host, enough from me.
Don't worry, Wayne. We'll do you a favour in 3 weeks at Old Trafford. You'll be all good. Let's go to Graham. Graham, you look very glum there. What's going on? not too much champagne getting uncorked at the lane at the moment. Started out the game not too bad. Had a goal disallowed, I think, and then took the lead. And then just went the pot again. Talk to me.
Or
maybe don't talk to me.
Fuck's sake. Don't talk at all.
Come on. Give us something here. Trying to cheer you up here.
We have all the quality that you'd want in a Premier League team to challenge for things. But we seem to be where we were 2 years ago, weeks out before the Champions League. Well, especially 2 years ago before the Champions League final against Liverpool, it was the likes of Christian Eriksen in the locker room, like just unsettling everyone, bringing everyone down. It's the same. I don't know who it is this time, but it's someone that is just bringing the whole team down. They're not performing. Yesterday there, before you got the second goal, he wanted to bring on Lamela, which was the bad choice. Like, you had Bale sitting there on the bench, and he decided to bring on Bale with what 8 minutes to go, and then before Lamela comes on, United get 2-1 up, and they decide to bring on Lamela and to fucking take off. Who did they take off? But anyway, I think they took off Lucas, but it's well, I've said on previous weeks, it's the manager's, it's Mourinho's fault, the way his tactics are been playing. But it's the players by now, especially like why in the hell did he start Eric Dyer yesterday? Like we said on previous weeks, he strokes us. He's the worst player we have.
I completely agree. Right?
Yeah, at least I.
He doesn't have a settled team. He doesn't have a settled team at all. There, it's a different team every. Like, I can't remember the last time that Spurs played the same team twice. It's almost like Liverpool's back four.
I can't remember the last time Spurs won anything.
No, I don't think Spurs fans can either. But like, I don't. But like you're looking.
Sorry, Graham. Sorry.
You're looking from the outside in. Like, they've only got Ben Davis and Matt Doherty out injured.
Yeah.
Like, you said there about you don't know who it is in the dressing room that's unsettling the team. It's obvious. Harry Kane, all this talk about he needs to go somewhere and win trophies. He's the captain of the team. Has he once came out and said, look, I'm not thinking about my future. I'm focused on trying to win stuff with Spurs and trying to finish as high up in the table as they can. If that was Mo Salah, me and Noel were talking about this earlier on, he's been linked with PSG to replace Mbappe. If that was Salah and it was all this, and he didn't come out and say, look, at the moment, I'm just focused on where we're going at the moment. Every time he's asked a question, it's like, oh, you never know what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself. I don't want you. I don't want you in my team if that's the way
I agree.
You see things. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
like, I know you'd hate to say it and all because he's your club captain and the amount of goals he scored and all, but there's the problem in plain sight. He hasn't got the ball.
Dino, because he's your club captain, you would expect him to say even more so, wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? Exactly. Like I remember a few years back, well, like when Mark Hughes, when City were kind of just proper up and coming, and they were trying to buy everybody. I remember they were heavily linked with John Terry. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And Terry literally, I think it only lasted about 2. Terry came out and that's what you want from your club captain. And the fact that Harry Kane come up through fucking Tottenham, I know he started out with Arsenal, but he's a Tottenham boy. You would hope that he came out and had enough respect there to kind of go, look, let's not worry about what happens in the summer. I can't control that. Let's fucking win a cup for the club for the first time since bleeding the Jurassic period. Like, do you know what I mean?
I can't see him signing for anyone else in England. I read today that one football that we're reading today that he could be replacing Haaland at Dortmund. So I honestly
not hope.
I think the other way. I don't think he'll go abroad. I think he'll stay in England, and if he goes anywhere, it will be in England. Because if he doesn't retire,
United or City for me. I think if City don't get
United or City is what I'm thinking, mate.
I think if City don't get Haaland, I think I could see Harry Kane at City for sure. And I'd see it ahead of United because I think United are still not willing to break the bank on that player. They had their chance this summer, didn't they, with Sancho? They didn't pull the trigger. So City for me, I could see that happening too. Because Real Madrid, you would have said would be the team, right?
Yeah,
they would have been the team.
Yeah,
but they don't have the money. Can't see Harry Kane in PSG, to be honest with you. Bayern don't need him. You know, would Bayern look at him as the long-term solution to Lewandowski? But look, Lewandowski isn't going anywhere for another 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, Harry Kane's no young spring chicken either. And
he's 28, isn't he?
He's got 2 dodgy ankles as well. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if Pep, like, come here, we talked about the best. We done one recently about the best 11 never to win the league and all, and I had him in me front three for the goals he scored and all. But getting to that age, he's nearly 30 now. 2 dodgy ankles. You know what I mean? Is Pep really going to risk paying mental money? Because let's be real, the money that's going to take to get him out of Spurs is over 100 million.
Daniel Levy, like, he's a fucking he's
going to be.
Doesn't like negotiating at all.
If Kane leaves, then let's be real now, they're in the same situation as Liverpool. They're probably not going to get Champions League football, and Kane leaves. Bale is going back. Well, so he says Bale's going back to Real Madrid. Spurs are in a lot of trouble because Mourinho's going in the summer as well. If Levy's any sense, he's going in the summer as well. So come here.
I think though that he won't. I don't think he wants to pay out for Mourinho. Mourinho's still getting paid from United and Chelsea, for God's sake.
Mourinho's doing his double agent job for Chelsea. To be fair, going down, sorting out the Spurs boys and
Spurs, like you said, Graham. The quality in that Spurs team, you can't argue with Toby Alderweireld, Hugo Lloris, Harry Kane, Heung-Sun Min. The players you have are unreal. Like, it's a team of superstars. And I think the biggest mistake Spurs made was getting Mourinho. He's too defensive, too negative. There's just so many bad things that come with Mourinho. Spurs need a fast-flowing.
I would agree with that. Like, Tuchel should have been there. Like, that's exactly what they needed. Tuchel is exactly what Spurs needed if you look at it. You know what I mean, on paper. The only thing is, I'd say, Alex, they have a couple of superstars in the team. I don't think they're a team of superstars. And Graham might agree or disagree with me here, but on the outside looking in, we've known that they're bottlers, and that tagline has come.
That's the way to go. Yeah.
It's not that I'm trying to now be funny as a Chelsea fan.
I'm
just being real. Like,
yeah.
The problem is they have a first 11. I don't think they have much outside of that first 11.
The bench, yeah.
You know what I mean? And not many strikers. I mean, they had that problem this year, didn't they, when they were trying to buy a second striker in, and they were aiming very, very high. The problem was, who wants to come and play second fiddle to Harry Kane when if he's fit for the most of the season. You're basically bringing the lad in on a contract saying, right, you're going to play when Harry Kane's injured. The rest of the time you're going to play against Accrington Stanley in the early cup rounds or the League Cup or whatever. Like, they're in a very, very precarious position. I honestly think the best thing for Spurs would be to do a rebuild. And I think the Harry Kane money, I think it would be smart, personally.
But come here, not only Harry Kane, like Son's had a phenomenal season as well. Someone comes in for Son as well with Champions League football. Like, as I said, like on the outside looking in as a neutral, Spurs could be in a serious amount of trouble next season. Amount of trouble next season.
Yeah, definitely.
You'll be back to fucking, we won't see you here anymore, Graham. You'll be just fucking doing Pat's podcast on your own.
Well,
you'll be at OTT shows though next year. They'll be back open. So it'll be grand.
Everyone, yeah.
I suppose the fear is if they unload Kane and they unload Son, are they going to give the money to the manager to reinvest?
That's the real question.
That's the key. Like, and I think I just wonder as well with Kane. I wonder, will Kane actually move, or is he just vying for one last big contract with Spurs? Because, like, why is he only deciding to move now? I mean, he should have been moving.
He said that years ago. Yeah,
you know what I mean. He could have moved any time in the last 4 years. You know what I mean? And it's just, I just wonder, is all this stuff being put out there by agents? Because as you said, Dean, I mean, he has a couple of dodgy ankles. He's 28 or whatever it is. You know what I mean? He's no spring chicken. You're gonna pay absolutely top dollar and get rinsed for him because Levy's not going to let him go out the door unless it's big money. So, like, who's going to take the risk?
Well, look, 28. 28 isn't like 28 back in the day was always considered your prime years. Do you know what I mean? Like, United brought in Van Persie at 29, going on 30, and he was on the back of a lot of injuries as well. I think Kane in the right system doesn't really need like that. You know, he's not a pace player. He's not like a Torres or or an Aguero or something like that. I think he can. I think it's about what is the right fit for Kane. I think he's good at holding up the ball. I could see him fit at United or City. To be honest with you, I think United or City is realistically both two teams that would suit Harry Kane's style of play and that he would complement both of them. That's just my opinion on it. But I think 28. I don't think by any means at all that he's
no,
gone.
Like,
he's not a pace player.
Like Dean said about his ankles, he's 28 and 2 seasons out. That's a long time for a 28-year-old. You know,
that is a good point as well. Yeah,
Oh, he's relying on that he doesn't get injured. Then you get your money's worth maybe for 5 years out. If he spends 2 seasons injured, mate, how can he justify 150 million for 3 seasons worth?
Yeah.
Wayne, you're a City fan, right, Wayne? And we talked about. Hey, Zeus, you know, he is a viable option, like, you know, when you have the attack that Man City have, you've got that what's the word I'm looking for? You've got that in the team that because they're getting paid so much money, because they're so successful, lads don't mind being rotated.
Yeah.
I could only see Kane going to City because he'd be managed better at City, do you know what I mean? Getting towards 30 with 2 dodgy ankles.
Game time, like, would be managed better. Yeah.
You've got, but why are you gonna go out and spend 120, 130 million on someone just to play a third of the games a season?
I agree with you.
If you're gonna spend that money, you have to go out and spend on Haaland. I said this, I've been saying it for weeks. If Man City get Haaland, we may all give up because he'll score at least 30 goals in that City team, at least.
Yeah. It's between two teams, really, isn't it?
I can see him.
Chelsea or City, yeah.
But that's what I was reading today. They're saying next season is as soon as reckons next season is Chelsea would be City's biggest worry. But staying on Harry Kane, like I could see, not Harry Kane, Haaland. I could see Haaland, if he came to City, I could see him having the like Suarez effect. He just scores like for fun, you know. When he was at Liverpool, I mean, he just scored whenever he bloody wanted to. Suarez, you know, just had to give him the ball and that was it. He was going to score. I could see Haaland, like Dino said, kind of coming to City and having that effect. And personally, do I really want Harry Kane? No, I wouldn't be heartbroken if we didn't sign Harry Kane. And it's not because obviously he's a prolific goal scorer. Me personally, that hold-up play, that slower style of football, I don't know if it's for City, whereas Haaland, I think, fits right into the mix. You know, Haaland just slides in and he's there, you know, and he's probably one of the few, you know, he's of the level of obviously De Bruyne and that, you know, That's what how I see it. And I'd much rather have Haaland over Harry Kane, and that's nothing to do with obviously his goal output. You can't argue.
Look at when you look at the news. Look, I look at a lot of guys with good, like especially Fabrizio Romano, and he said that if Chelsea don't get Haaland, they're going to be looking at Aguero or fucking Lukaku.
I don't see Aguero signing for anyone in England. He's too much respect. He's not that type of player.
Sure, listen, what you mean? Frank Lampard played for City for fuck's sakes, and he was.
But we roped him into that.
Yeah, Frank Lampard also played for Chelsea, and he was a West Ham man. Frank Lampard's one of them.
Would you stop? Robbie Savage has spoken. Come on, move along.
That's enough about Harry Kane, anyway.
Dino.
Wow.
Let's move on. Ian, Chelsea with a good win against Palace. Talk to me.
Yeah, it was well. I mean, I expected a bounce back, but I have to say, Jesus Christ, watching. I don't know if you boys seen any of the highlights of the game or not, and I expected a bounce back. But my God, how good! Two players in particular. I mean, we expect it from Mason Mount now on a weekly basis, but good Lord, how good was Kai Havertz, and Christian Pulisic is back. Christian Pulisic is back. I mean, I think Tuchel deserves all the credit. We mentioned there earlier. I think Dane made a great point about, you know, when you go to big clubs and you look at the game management and how, like, you're not just going to depend on a player. If you know he's croaked, you kind of manage his game time a bit better. I think that's exactly what Tuchel has done with certain players. Pulisic in particular, I think, wow. Do you know what I mean? He was just absolutely phenomenal at the weekend. You know, two absolute rockets.
Gave me the old Harlem Globetrotters vibes. You were playing football the other day, man. They were just
crazy, man.
The ball around, man.
I mean, that Kai Havertz goal. I mean, that kid. There's not a player in the Premier League that deserved that goal more. Like with his attitude, you know what I mean. Coming back from COVID and, you know, hearing the pressure, the pressure from his family and stuff. Still hasn't seen his family and all through COVID. And I know lots of players are going through that. I'm only speaking from a Chelsea fan point of view, but. That did anyone you see that take where the ball came over the top and he just lifted it over the defender and hit it on his right foot first time? If that went in, I mean, that's goal of the season, surely.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It was just, his technique was unbelievable, and I think, I just think Tuchel is just fucking, you know, he's too good, lads. He knows how to get the best out of that team.
Yeah.
Like Zuma can go out with the lineup and then come back, and now Zuma's playing great again. Do you know what I mean? It's like. He's done. It reminds me of when Mourinho first came to Chelsea. He's got a lot of big players there, and they all seem to be happy. You're not hearing any bullshit about Chelsea anymore about backstage unrest, or do you know what I mean? There's nothing. I think someone like Mason Mount has a big part to play in that, though. Like a level-headed young flit in the dressing room like that. He's a captain. Captain Chelsea now, and he's so level-headed, man. I rate Mason Mount highly, man. I think the I have to say the recruitment in the summer. I know some people will go, "What are you talking about?" But look, I think the recruitment in the summer. I mean, talk about Timo Werner, for example. Oh, he hasn't hit the ground running with the goals. Look at the amount of fucking assists that young lad is getting as well. You know, these are players that didn't get a pre-season as well. It's fair. It's actually fair, isn't it? I was talking to Noel about this. Not many big signings that came in this summer have really hit the ground running anyway. And I think that was the lack of pre-season. Do you know what I mean? I think
none more so than Ben Davis at Liverpool.
Yeah. but you know what I mean, Dino? Like it's like I think the lack of pre-season didn't help a lot of players. I think next season Timo will hit the ground running without a shadow of doubt.
When we done the Chelsea Liverpool preview, Ian, and we were saying that, like, Giroud, you've Tammy Abraham, you've Havertz, Ziyech, Werner. Like, but I said to you, I was like, Kai Havertz with a full pre-season is going to be probably one of the best players in the league next season.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah.
I said that to you. I said it to you about Mason Mount. That
you did, yeah.
Yeah, you know, like. I think the best thing that happened to Chelsea was Lampard coming in and having that bad run and getting someone in with fresh ideas. As from the neutral look on the outside looking in, if I was a Chelsea fan, I know you'd rather be up close at the City, but you've got to be happy and probably look at it like hindsight is a wonderful thing. If Lampard hadn't came in and probably Tuchel came in to start the season, you could be looking at a whole different story at Chelsea this season. They needed that to happen. They needed that to happen with Lampard.
I think so. I think what Lampard did was, I think, again, that goes back to the point I was going to make about recruitment. I think bringing Thiago Silva in on a free was a genius idea. Now he got sent off to West Brom. Bit harsh, in my opinion, but still, you can see his leadership from the stands even. Do you know what I mean? That little old head, that old head, you know, on the young shoulders in terms of the team. Giroud there, who's just happy to be part of the fucking team. You never heard Giroud complain. Just such a great blend there. Kante looking like he's coming back to pretty much what we all expect from Kante. Kovacic is just having an absolute genius season since Lampard has left. Jorginho even. Like, it just looked to me, as a Chelsea fan, it's very exciting times. As Dino said there, I mean, basically there's a squad that's been built there for another 10 years, you know what I mean? And you can just add a couple of pieces every season. It's very similar to what City did when they started off with Pep. Just some very smart signings there. And I think Chelsea came out and said that they're going all in for 2 players this year with pretty much limitless money now with the lack of financial fair play. So, you know, I imagine 2 of those players are probably going to be either Sancho and Haaland or one of the other. I think whoever. I could probably see us with. I think if City end up with Haaland, I'd say Chelsea end up with Sancho and probably like Lukaku or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't know, but what do you think?
What you were saying about when you were saying about City and you had been saying about Chelsea about the harmony in squads and lads not minding sitting out games, like, you know, to keep things fresh, and you're looking at the bigger picture and all. That's what annoys me about Liverpool. So many Liverpool fans and Klopp himself saying, you know, you don't want to ruin the harmony in the dressing room. You can't expect the challenge for the league, for the Champions League, for the FA Cup. You can't expect a challenge for all these things with solely 11 players and 5 or 6 players to sit on the bench that are nowhere near that level. You have to go all out in this situation.
Yeah.
If I don't understand someone like Klopp coming out and saying, you know, not necessarily coming out and saying the words like, I don't want to ruin the harmony in the dressing room. How do you think United were successful for all that time? How do you think Chelsea were successful under Mourinho? If lads want it that bad, they've no problem sitting out games. You know what I mean? So do you
mind if I say one thing, Dino, just on your point? That's a great point you make. You look at those teams, the United teams, the Chelsea teams, the City teams, when you think of pretty much the 3 most successful clubs over the last, say, 20 years in terms of the Premier League. And then you look at what Liverpool done last year was very rare. You had a very injury-free season, but you had a first 11. So with the Klopp kind of comment on saying, oh, you want to keep the harmony in the dressing room, it's actually bound to go the opposite way, because the difference with the 3 clubs that you mentioned there with City, United, Chelsea, you always saw those players getting mingled. Like if someone went down, like Thiago Silva goes off injured, boom, you've got Andreas Christensen ready to come in. That's the coach going, boom, I trust you, let's go. Klopp is coming out and he's kind of like, doesn't look like he trusts a lot of players. And obviously now, the fact that you did have a just pretty much a first 11 and a phenomenal season last year, by the way, I do commend you. Obviously, I'm not having a go. But that's a bit of burnout now that you're getting so many injuries, because he only trusts his first 11 almost. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're looking at the season that we got to the Champions League final and lost, the year we won it, and last year winning the league. Oxlade-Chamberlain was nearly out for about 11 months with injury across those 3 seasons. But when things are going good, it's great. We can throw him in. He'll pick up a goal or 2. When the shit's hit the fan now, you can see he has no trust in these players.
Exactly. So that's harmony. That doesn't do much for harmony in the dressing room. You know what I mean? As the squad.
Well, it'll be interesting.
The first 11 as a squad.
It'll be interesting to see what his approach is this summer anyway, because he knows he has to, you know, definitely raise the bar in terms of the bench and also look at some of the players there. I mean, there is rumblings that some players are sort of disjointed, if you like, and kind of making little rumblings. So it'll be interesting to see with his managerial skill, is he able to turn that around? Then, talking about goals of the season, our boy TAA pops up with an absolute worldie of a goal to steal the points against Aston Villa.
The Anfield assassin. over the moon. Just come here, if he'd had a shot, or if it was a kick out from Allison and it hit off someone's head and it went in off the ref feed, a corner flag, I'd probably still be celebrating now. Just the relief, because going a goal down again with probably Villa's forced chance on air, forced mistake, and them scoring, and you're just saying to yourself, somebody sitting at home playing real life FIFA and they've just turned the controller off Liverpool and just left that sitting there, and they're just sitting there playing as Aston Villa. Thinking to yourself, you're just thinking to yourself, how is this every single week? How are we 129 chances and about 3 goals from it? And then you have teams like Villa get 1 chance and they put it away. You know, it's just after Tuesday night's dismal, miserable, just complete self-destructive performance against Real Madrid. It was nice to see the mentality back that, you know, I texted you and I said we have to win this game. There's no ifs or buts. If we drop any points there, top 4 is completely gone. I know I said a few weeks ago that I didn't think we'd get Champions League football, and I was my mind was settled on that. But if we can keep picking up wins that this weekend is going to be very, very tough.
Confidence.
Villa now, like 2 or 3 years ago, you'd be playing Villa and you'd hop off from 3 or 4-0. You know, Villa, everyone's a different proposition now. You're looking at the league, like West Brom have just slaughtered Southampton 3-0. Southampton are having a bad season, but West Brom are having that little run now. They battered Chelsea, they're at the battering Southampton. You know, like when lads really want it, you know, it's probably too late for the likes of West Ham now, because they probably are going to go down. But when lads really want it, they step up. And that's my big problem at Liverpool. We were just saying there about harmony in teams, and like you were signed at Liverpool, the likes of Shaqiri, the likes of Origi, the likes of Oxlade-Chamberlain. You're signed because the manager sees something in you. Why can't you step up and fucking show what he sees in you? Do you know what I mean? You can't just do it when things are it's all rosy in the garden. Do you know what I mean? When the shit hits the fan, you're playing for a club like Liverpool for a reason. You gotta stand up and put your chest out. And Trent, for me, you know, we've all lambasted him this season. He's made some horrific mistakes and he's not quite being there. But to come out like that in the last minute, you're seeing the camera angle from behind the goal. He couldn't see anything of the net. You know, to take that chance, and you know, especially in front of Gareth Southgate. I'm just hoping a result like that before a massive game on Wednesday, going into a massive game against Leeds now the weekend. You know, I'm just hoping that gives us a boost there. I know Ian was saying about confidence and all, but that's the thing. If you're getting like last season, you're going into the last couple of minutes and you need a winner, going for a league or what have you. To us now, going for Champions League football is as big as going for the league, because we're just talking about transfers there. If Liverpool don't get Champions League football, I think we're in trouble as well. So just happy to get the 3 points, get over the line, and look, that's in the past now. We go to Real Madrid come to us on Wednesday night, and then look, I've kind of accepted that they'll definitely score at Anfield, and I just think it's a bit too far to turn around. I know we turned around against Barcelona. I just think this is different this time. No fans in the ground and what have you. So the bigger picture is looking at Leeds now. You know, that confidence, 3 points at home against a good Villa team. Leicester dropping points. You know, there's some big games around us now when going for the top 4 with teams playing each other. We can just keep picking up 3 points. This Leeds game now next weekend is going to be very, very telling. If we can get 3 points off Leeds, the other teams around us that are going for top 4 are really, really going to start feeling the pressure. And, you know, it's probably a good thing that we're outside that and it's not us in the top 4 trying to hold on to it, because there's going to be a lot of pressure on Chelsea, because I can see them progressing in the Champions League. Leicester, I did say a few weeks ago that I could see them crumbling. You know, it's all up in the air now. So I'm just happy to get 3 points against a good Villa side and on to the next one.
Cool. Sums it up, really. Let's move on to the preview for the European football coming up this week. Wayne, start with you. 2-1 Dortmund heading over to Germany.
Oh God. How do I feel about that? Oh, it's a bit tough. Look, obviously we have the quality, we have everything there to win that game. Of course we do. I think it'd be silly to say we don't. But I think City need to score first. The City need to get a full hold in the game. If we get an away goal first, I think that changes the whole outlook of the 90 minutes. If Dortmund score, I think it's it. I don't think so. I haven't seen a lot from City this season to show the bottle they have to bounce back when their backs are against the wall. So, I mean, last week we got the winner. I suppose we got a 90th minute winner. Phil Foden scored a 90th minute winner for us against them. But it's tough. It's hard to call. I'm obviously going to say I think City will win. But like I said, I think we need the early goal, get an away goal, and then we kind of have a strong one hand on the tie, if you know what I mean. So, I'll go with City win.
Good stuff. Ian, job done, I think, for Chelsea against Porto, wasn't it? 2-0 up, 2 away goals, back to the bridge. Handy.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, it's still at the neutral venue, isn't it? Because I think they had to, because Porto, I think Portuguese teams or something aren't able to travel.
Oh, okay.
So I heard that last week that it's still at it. I think regardless, I don't see it being an issue. I know they were saying their top scorer, but like I fancy. I mean, they have to come and basically win 2-0 to even get it to extra time. I can't see Tuchel going down to 90 minutes, to be honest with you, with that team. I'd say it's job done yet. I think he'd be able to kind of have one eye on the weekend as well and put out still a decent team, I think, against Porto and get a decent result. So, yeah, exciting times to almost have one foot in the semi-final is nice to see again. So, looking forward to it, and you never know. You could get an all England Champions League final again, which would be pretty cool, right?
It's interesting when we come on next week. We could be looking at a situation where Chelsea are the only club left in it from England. It's mad, you know. Well, you know what I mean, like, because it's very borderline. I mean, Chelsea look like they're there or thereabouts. You know what I mean? City still have a job to do out in Germany. And I mean, obviously we need another Barcelona performance nearly, you know what I mean, to make it through. So
nearly, definitely. You need that.
We need Christ the Lord to just raise up out of ground just as the first whistle's being blown and Real Madrid players are just dying in shock.
And I think
2-0 put us through with Big Nat Phillips keeping a clean sheet with a bit of luck. Come on, stay positive, Dan.
I am positive, yeah.
You told me 3 weeks ago we'd no chance of top 4.
Will you? Come on, come on.
Bill believes that. Don't mind him.
Quick look.
If the fans were there on Wednesday night, you'd give us some hope. I think we'd score. I just can't see them not scoring. That's my only worry. I just can't see.
You know what? Real Madrid heard Liverpool say too many times that they're the kings of Europe and just said, "All right, lads, back in your box, peasants."
Yeah, but it's all well and good. It's all well and good when you're funded by the King of Spain and you have no fear of going in debt and you can just go out and do as you please.
Well, they do now. They have that fear now. They're fucked.
He's selling the crown jewels at the moment to try and keep Varane and Ramos.
He's only doing that because the renovation of the Bernabeu was costing 500 million. If they weren't renovating the Bernabeu, they'd be going out now and they'd go in Salah, Mbappe, Haaland. You know what I mean? It's the only reason.
500 million to renovate, that is nothing. We probably paid $1.5 billion for the Aviva.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's Ireland, Noel. We're not getting into that.
Yeah. I think unfortunately for Liverpool as well, Real Madrid have just started putting a bit of form together, like at the right time for Real Madrid, the wrong time for Liverpool. They're starting to string, even with players out, like starting to string games together and getting the results in now. They just won the El Clasico as well. So I mean,
I think just a quick one as well, based on that. I said this to Noel last night. I would actually rather play Real Madrid in the semi-final than play Liverpool, to be honest with you, because I think that Liverpool-Chelsea stigma, do you know what I mean? The history that's there. I could see Liverpool fucking just putting something together over 2 legs that, you know, would match it. Whereas I think it's a team like Chelsea, I think will actually cause Real Madrid all kinds of fucking problems. Do you know what I mean? Just with that defense, the 3 at the back. And Hazard will probably just go off, pretend to be injured or something. And I just can't wait to see that reptile in goal get about 3 put past him, that big lanky, big nose reptile. You know who I'm talking about.
Sorry, completely off the subject there. Just have the Everton and Brian game on here. How nice of the FA to have a minute silence for DMX before each game and changing it. Absolutely unbelievable.
You know what? That's a perfect way to go back to the host. I love it.
Yeah, so let's switch to Thursday night football because we have to. I would assume. Speaking of DMX, yeah, I'd imagine United are through against Granada at this stage. I mean, Granada, for all this talk about how brilliant they were, they just look like
lads. I didn't get the memo that I'd be talking about Thursday night football on this. This is meant to be,
Is this Granada the old TV station? Just
Don't
be getting too cocky. You might be playing in it next season. So then the interesting one this Thursday obviously will be Slavia versus Arsenal 1-1. I mean, that's going to be an interesting game. Arsenal again blown it in the late stages. Unbelievable,
I think there's something wrong with that Spurs Arsenal rivalry. It's like the Bottlers Brigade over that part of London or something. Like,
I just think that Arteta isn't a good manager.
Straight up.
There's no
he watched Pep. He sat around putting cones out for Pep every day. Arsenal had no money, and they said, you know what? He's gonna know what Pep does every week. Let's bring him in. It's another Lampard job. That team is going nowhere under Arteta.
He's like the false version of Pep Guardiola is,
And he dyes his hair. I've no respect for a man that dyes his hair. Only Noel.
Yeah, Paul, my name's Noel. That's why I'm wearing the cap.
Like Robbie Savage. You should get highlights in, I'm telling you.
He has that sort of Henry Cavill criff going on, doesn't he?
Something all right, yeah.
It's like a Brillo pad.
It's very. You put a suit on there now on him, and you're like, right, if he grows a bit of stubble, he's definitely somewhere in the Rent a Dawn club. Like,
do you not know he'll only put a suit on if it's a white one?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, if he dyes that hair, you should dye your hair black, Dino. White suit, black shirt,
red and white stripes.
I'll tell you my daughter's wedding.
That's how I'm coming on the pod, man, on Friday night.
Yeah,
I think Arsenal are in a bit of trouble against Prague. No, I don't think they could. I could see something bad happening. Arsenal have no excuse. Same thing with Spurs. They've quality all over the pitch. They definitely have the players to do it. But like, I don't know. I think they've got an uphill battle.
London, they're just bottlers, aren't they? It's mad.
It's still a real.
It seems to be.
That Prague place is still an uncomfortable place to go, even when there's no fans.
Listen, Highbury, or the Emirates is a fucking uncomfortable place to go for Arsenal. Let's be real. Do you know what I mean? Anywhere there's a football pitch is an uncomfortable place for Arsenal. So, like, yeah, get away from them hacks.
Or Arsenal, man.
Book them.
Right, let's get on to some hot topics there as we lose all our Arsenal viewers.
More than welcome to come on and join us in a debate. No problem.
Let's start with the first one. Lot of news around, stupid news really, about this official getting Haaland's autograph the other day in the tunnel. Everyone jumping on it saying how unprofessional it was and all this, that, and the other. And then afterwards, we find out he got the yellow card and the red card signed, and it's going to charity to try and raise 50,000 for a charity. And all these news agencies.
I want to see where it's signed off that it was donated charity, because this fella's probably selling them, and he's probably buying himself a fucking house on an island.
Fair play to him if he is, pal. I'd be more impressed with that.
Yeah, buy a house. It's Erling Haaland signing, not Mo Salah.
It's a bloody joke, man. The joke there was any even issue made over this, man. Like, did the referee do his job? Was he professional? Yes, simple as that. Like,
exactly.
As simple as that. What happened afterwards is irrelevant.
He done it down the tunnel. It's not like he was walking off the pitch at half time and actually changing shorts with a player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm more pissed off. You know, all these fans about their teams moaning. I'm more pissed off about when you see, like, and I've seen it with Chelsea under the Lampard fucking regime. To be fair, you know, when teams, your players are there smiling and laughing with their you know, with their mates after you just lost 3-0, and you think it's grand. Oh, it's grand. You're on 90 grand a week, and you just ruined my night, and your night is great. Yeah, I'm sitting here fucking earning minimal fucking money possible compared to them anyway. And you know, my night's ruined because you couldn't be arsed, but you're swapping jerseys and having a great laugh with your fucking England teammate. Ask me bollocks, you know what I mean? So fair play to that referee. I hope he got paid.
Let's move on. I mean, we have to talk about Roy Keane as a pundit at the moment. He is absolutely
The
gold.
best.
Sky have hit the jackpot.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
Two good ones.
Him and Micah Richard.
Yeah, it was.
When you find yourself having a bad day and things are really, really bad, just go onto YouTube, just type in Roy Keane's best moments, and the mood is lifted immediately.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Completely.
Unless you're a Sunderland or an Ipswich fan or an Irish Republic of Ireland fan.
Can you imagine the owners of Celtic had talks with him? Can you imagine him being Celtic manager? Oh my Jesus! No wonder Scott Brown wanted it.
He boxed the head off Scott Brown. He was.
So yeah, so
hell,
there's two different opinions here at the moment. The first one was he came out and had a go off Redknapp saying that Spurs have been soft for the last 40 years. And then Redknapp, of course, just melts into the sea. And 2 weeks ago, he took him apart live on TV as well in that interview on camera as well. Absolutely tore him asunder. But then he comes out as if it's not bad enough. It's obviously something to do with Redknapp because he doesn't really. He comes out then and says Mourinho was right to go in on the players and all those players should take it the right way and start reacting that they've been woeful. And that Mourinho's right to be calling them out. So it's clearly not a Mourinho or a Spurs thing. It's obviously just a Jamie Redknapp thing. But Wayne, what was you thinking on that?
I don't know. I thought it was gas. I just, like Dane said, he's gas for Roy Keane. And then, like you said, like it seems that he does have a little thing with Jamie Redknapp. He just doesn't like him, man. I don't know whether it's because he's Spurs or what, but he seems just to not like the guy, man. And he loves ripping him apart. But he's not far wrong. Spurs haven't been a bit soft for like 40 years now. Like,
Have you?
he's not too far wrong.
Yeah, Graham, what did you make of his comments about Mourinho?
Remember the battle at the bridge and they were pushing fucking Gus Hiddink down steps real hard, man.
Graham, what was you thinking on Mourinho, on his comments on Mourinho? Right to go in on the players.
Well, first off, I just want to talk about Jamie Redknapp, the way he's standing up for Spurs. What he played for us for what 2 seasons, but he's a Liverpool player. Like
he's a fan though. He's a Spurs fan all his life.
He's a fan.
I've watched a few Spurs matches over seasons where if Spurs haven't played well, Redknapp would be like he'd be digging holes into Spurs, saying, "Oh, you played awful. It was shocking," you know.
Rolling into the ground.
Yeah, but I don't see it. I don't know why Redknapp he's defended us so much. Like, you know, we're like the fans know we're crap. Like, he should know we're crap. Like, Roy Keane is telling them the facts of the Spurs squad. You know, the quality all over the park. We're not performing. The players are blaming the manager because we're not winning because the manager has us playing different tactics. If that's the case, then what are players doing on the pitch? They're not winning at all. Roy Keane is I'm afraid to admit it, but he is telling the truth. We have been shocking. We have been soft over seasons. Especially that year when Leicester won the league. That was our strongest season ever.
Thank that.
Other seasons we've gotten close to FA Cup finals, like semi-finals, quarterfinals, come up the likes against Chelsea's, Arsenal, Cities, and we just fold. We just let them win a match. I'm not disagreeing with Roy Keane now. He's great for the TV now. If you're in a bad mood and you want some lifting, he's the man to do your job for you.
Definitely.
Ian, you might want to take this one. Do you know what I find very strange? You know, it leaves a sour taste in my mouth at times when you hear Roy Keane saying players not showing up. And I think, mate, have you ever heard of Saipan? You know what I mean? When he says players not showing up, I'm just there going, what the hell?
Only you want me to take this because you think there's going to be a bit of controversy, but me and Roy have made up since my last rant on Roy. We're grand now. He backed down. He didn't want the pieces of Dynamo. So, you know, he kind of went, shit, we're actually similar fucking size. You know what I mean? All right, fuck him. No, I'm not joking.
Here's me trying to act off Frank Warren to get this white collar boxing match together for the Irish Guide Dogs.
All right, well, look, all right, well, we can do it. We can do it. Noel and Dino in my corner. That's grand. Yeah, that's no bother. We can do that anyway. We can do that anyway for fun. No, I think. Look, I haven't been a fan of the FAI for a long time. Anyway, I am one of the fans, even though I'm not a United fan, that was in agreement with Roy Keane then, and I still am now. I think the FAI are fucking crooks. They're gangsters. I don't think they put it into grassroots level. And Noel, you know exactly what I'm talking about here. I've been around it myself. My family's been around it. I think Roy Keane was absolutely right, and he was trying to make a statement. And obviously, the media had Mick McCarthy's side and all that stuff, and basically made a pantomime villain out of Roy Keane, and he was happy to take that. And I think, you know, so I'm always going to be with Roy Keane on that one personally. Noel Quinn was another donkey who just like, I don't know, I didn't say anything. You know, all these lads, like when the truth came out years later, kind of it showed that Keane did stick by his guns. It's kind of like that. I know we're going off topic, but it's that CM Punk wrestling type thing. You know what I mean? He stuck by his guns and he left and took a stand. And so I think Roy Keane was 100% right on that. And I think he's honest, but I think Roy Keane is at that stage of his life now where he enjoys winding people up. You know, that's the Irish in him. He's basically having pub banter with the likes of these, because Jamie Redknapp, you know, he's a bit of a hothead in his own way. Like you've seen him on that sports show. What's it? You know, the talk show. It's very competitive.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about. He gets real pissed off real quick, and I'd say there's a little bit of a personality issue there where Keno like knows that he can push Redknapp's buttons, because if you look at Jimmy, when you look at Hasselbank there and Micah Richards beside him, Micah Richards just be winding Keane back up, and Keno's like, you're talking nonsense. Well, he's able for it.
But do you know what it is? Micah Richards copped onto it, because in the first few times he was on with Micah Richards, Micah Richards was having head-to-heads with him. And
then now Micah Richards gets it.
Yeah, he knows it's a total work. Like
Jamie Carragher just plays out of it. Jamie Carragher's just like, I'm saying nothing. I'm just saying nothing.
Sit back.
With the switch though, was you remember when Roy Keane said that I think Micah Richards came out and said, I burst onto the scene. I'm like, what do you mean you burst onto the scene?
Yeah.
What, the youngest Captain England player, and I'm this, and I won the league. And that Roy Keane was like, oh yeah, you did, to be honest, mate. You know
what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Keno is kind of like he's well able to take it on the chin as well, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I think like you always just see Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. He's always just sitting there and he's just like laughing, like, you know what I mean? Then again, I don't think Roy wants to go at Jimmy. To be fair, that lad would probably fucking pulverize you still. He still looks like he's 23, doesn't he?
I suppose an episode here doesn't go by where we don't bring up VAR.
Yes.
I get fairly uncomfortable when they have it on the screen and these lads are drawing these lines. They're only short of bringing the line out into the car park and drawing it across your mouth. I don't know what the story's going on with
that
VAR.
subject.
Go ahead.
On the subject there, Noel, right? I don't know whether any of you seen the goal that was disallowed in the West Brom Southampton game tonight.
No.
Just if you get a chance, just check it out. I swear to God.
Send me a link, yeah.
They had the line on the wrong man.
No way.
And Doyang or whatever his name is on West Brom scored. He was 3 yards onside. Centre back is standing where he is. Fella standing off West Brom behind him, but his foot is literally about that much offside. But the guy who scored is about 3 yards onside. And I'm screaming at the telly, and I'm like, are these winding me up? Like, how you can clearly see it's not the right player, and yet the referee disallows the goal. And your man's like, that's not me. He's saying to ref that's him. And the ref's like, no, offside, free out.
The level of refereeing, though, Dino, it seems to be that the level of referee, it's the biggest game in the world, right, at the moment. And also, the Premier League is meant to be the biggest league in the world. And it just seems that the level of officiating is one of the weakest out of all of the top teams. Because I watch a lot of Italian football again as well, right? And they will call it down the middle. They'll take the time to go over and see, right, no, that was offside. We got it wrong. No problem. The referees want to be the superstars. But listen, let's put our tinfoil hats on for a minute here, right? Let's actually all do that. We've seen referees come out now and admit, former referees, that they've actually influenced games because of certain fucking things. And they haven't mentioned names, but we're all pretty smart enough and big enough football fans with a good enough memory to know exactly what they're talking about. And I'm not going to mention the names either on here. But, I mean, there was nothing done about that. And the FA always cry victim when FIFA do something or UEFA do something to them, blah, blah, blah. Referees now, it's like they've took a stand and said, yeah, we're not going to bother with VAR. We'll only use it when it suits us. There is one team in the red side of Manchester, and let's be real, it's a very, very good reason as to why they're second in the fucking league. And last year also, that they were up as high as they were. Do you know what I mean? That are getting... There's not a question. Because
whatsoever.
But I don't think the problem lies in VAR. The problem does not lie in VAR.
Man United, for example, Man United are that team. I believe that the FA, with the amount of money that they get in sponsorship, they need certain teams up in the conversation.
I said this weeks ago.
Clear.
Who benefits most from a Man United and Man City Premier League title challenge? The FA. Who benefits most from Man City and Man United Premier League challenge when there's no crowds in the ground? Who benefits most? Sky Sports. Okay. I was looking at decisions when Niall sent me the list of stuff that was on tonight, and we were talking about VAR and all right. Your man Cooper off Leeds yesterday, right? One of those old school hard bastards. I'm winning the ball. Might follow through, but there's absolutely zero intention of what I'm going to do if I do follow through. He won the ball fair and square. You had Man City players whinging. You had Guardiola on the sideline whinging and crying and blah, blah, blah. Gets sent off, right? 10 minutes later, Raheem Sterling runs across the pitch, stamps right down on the guys. I know you're a City fan, Wayne, and I'm not just using City as an example.
No, yeah.
Sterling stands on your man's ankle. I think your man got taken off then, right? There wasn't a free kick. There wasn't a yellow card. Where's the consistency in it, right? A few weeks ago, Man United were playing Crystal Palace. No, when they did play Crystal Palace, the reverse fixture, Bruno Fernandes stamped right down the guy's ankle and got a penalty. And got a penalty. You know, where is the consistency? Why all the money that's involved in football nowadays? Why is the referees not mic'd up to the VAR studios? Why is that not?
That's 100% right. You know, I watch, as you know, and I always bring it in. Yeah. I watch a lot of American sports. I watch the hockey, right? If a hockey official makes a call, right, he has to go and he has a hot mic on him and he has to claim why he's made that call. I've seen been such and such for 2 minutes because of hooking and we saw it. Do you know what I mean? That's the reason. Like Man United fans, it's actually hilarious. Do you remember last year, it was earlier in the season. Do you remember basically Harry Maguire had Azpilicueta in a headlock?
Yeah.
And there was no penalty given. And then they cried in the last game because I think Hudson-Odoi kind of shoulder barged one of the players and they were like, that's a definite penalty. And they were crying about the game. No, that's a disgrace. So lads, use your shouts, like your timeouts are gone now. Your claims for like foul. Like, if you're a Man United fan and you claim foul, your numbers are up, man. Because, 20 penalty decisions last year, the most in the history.
30, I was reading there the other day, is it 37 penalties in the last 2 seasons?
There you go.
37 penalties.
What
every other game.
what Ian was saying about the American sports, there is going to come a time where there's going to be a decision that's going to be detrimental to be someone losing the league by a point or a goal, or someone going down and being relegated and going into obscurity. And what's going to happen is you'll have legal side of things coming in. I don't understand why all the money.
Rightly so, Dino.
Why is all the money that's being invested in the VAR? Why are the refs not hot mic'd? Why is the VAR studio not hot mic'd? Why can we not hear what's going on? Because there's guys in the VAR studio that have no balls, and there's referees who have no balls, and there's blatant decisions going to the VAR studios, and the lads in the VAR studio are saying, you make the decision, run over and have a quick look at that screen. The referee is running over, panicking, thinking, bollocks, I don't want to do this. He runs over and he's like, right, I have to make a decision. Oh, it's a penalty, or the goal is disallowed. There is going to come a time where this is going to be detrimental to somebody losing out on the league by a point or something like that, or that someone's going to get relegated the last day of the season by a point or something like that. You'll have like Sheffield United and Aston Villa last year. That ball was two ball widths over the line. Why can't, if VAR can't see that that's over the line, or the cameras that's in the fucking goal that are in the post not picked up, why is there not someone in the Sky studio that can step in there and say, look, we have the camera footage here, it's a goal?
Well, do you remember last year? Do you remember the knockout stages last year, the FA Cup, Tottenham-Chelsea? I think it was your man Lamela again. He should have been sent off. He went in, basically stood up on, I think it was Fabregas again, or whoever it was. Boom, nothing given. Referee went no, and then after the game, the fucking VAR went, oh, actually, on reflection, we got it wrong. The only reason they said they got it wrong was because of all the social media outrage on it. But what happens to that referee? He doesn't get punished. He has to go down to play the championship for a week.
Why is it problem?
Go ahead, Dino.
No, go ahead, Wayne.
I was going to say the problem lies with the operators. It's not the system of VAR. There's nothing wrong with goal line technology or having technology in the game. There's nothing wrong with that. It's all credibility, like you said, all credibility from refereeing is going. Before, when there was no VAR and the ref made a bad decision, look, he made the decision quick, he couldn't look back on it, whatever, right? And you said, fair enough, you make mistakes. Now they're making mistakes when they can look, like you said about that goal that was over the line. But even City, Leeds' goal yesterday, the fella who scored was offside when the ball was played. But it wasn't brought back or checked. Or when
but the referees in England won't go over and watch it. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying to you. All the Italian refs, all the German refs, and all the Spanish refs, and even the French refs, they go over and they look. It takes literally 10 seconds to look at the screen.
Look at the NFL though. The amount of money that's involved here, the amount of money that teams can lose out on. Why can't teams have the option of objecting against a referee's decision? You get you get 2 or 3 objections. I know it's taking a bit more time, but there's been decisions where, look at the United and Brighton game. The fucking final whistle went and they were given a penalty.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? There's no consistency. Just because this really frustrated me and this really angered me. I hate United with a passion. Absolutely despise the club, top to bottom. I hate anything to do with them, right? Solskjaer comes out like a petulant little bitch, because let's be real, that's all Solskjaer is. He's a little puppet, because he sits down with Ferguson during the week. What do I say after the game, boss? What do you think with starting selection, boss? You know, that fella is an absolute pussy hoe. He comes out after the game, right? Fair enough, Son made a bit of a big deal about, right? He got fingers into the eye. He doesn't come out about all these decisions. Like, when does he come out? I know it's his team and what have you, but like, Son went down yesterday, right? He talks, like, to come out and say, if that was my son and he was with his friends, he wouldn't get any food and all. Mate, like, seriously, it's talking shit. All the times that United players are, we seen when United played Liverpool at Anfield, Pogba blatantly shouting at Luke Shaw to go down for a penalty in the box, and Luke Shaw's like, no, I'm not going down for a penalty in the box. I had a chance to run through on goal. I was pushed out. The ball went out for a goal kick. You're shouting at your own player running into the box and doing this dive, telling them to fucking dive. But Solskjaer has the gall to come out and say that Son, he should be ashamed of himself, this, that, and the other. Fuck off, Ole. Will you?
I think I have to leave now, lads. But I think on saying that, I think we have a prelim. I think we have a double main event for that event that you're putting on together, Niall. Solskjaer and Scott Brown versus Dino.
Oh, my money's on Dino, lads. My money's
Yeah,
on
me
Dino.
too. Dino, I'm in your corner for that as well. Don't worry.
Yeah, well, just
I
say
will praise you.
after all that wave of hate, just to keep people updated. This week, dropping on Wednesday, we have a Legend Series episode with the King, Eric Cantona. Just thought I'd put that out there. And also
I thought you were gonna say about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I was gonna just disconnect.
No, see,
What's going on?
that's why I said King first. And then also dropping this week, we have a new episode on the upper tier called the Upper Transfer Show, where we're going to be looking at all transfers and stuff like that. And we're going to be getting people involved in that. So look out for those two shows. Lads, as always, it's been a pleasure. Head over to YouTube, Dynamo Podcast Network, smash that subscribe and bell notification button. Also check out Ian's shows over there, Dynamo's Dozen, The Flaming Puck, a new ice hockey show over there on the network as well. Drop over there, drop a like, give it a bit of support, and our 4 Podmen weekly wrestling show. So for myself, Graham, Wayne, Dean, and Ian, it's been a pleasure as always, and we will chat to you again next week. Cheers, boys.